Good day. Today is Sunday, July 13th. Here's your planning briefing. It's pretty active this week. We have warm temperatures again on Monday, and then we're looking at some gusty northeast winds that will start in northwest Montana and work their way through the forecast area beginning sometime around Monday evening through Monday night. Also, we'll see some increasing shower activity with those up north as well, in northwest Montana particularly. So some runoff issues are possible. Glacier Park, especially higher portions of the Going to the Sun Road. And then we have a cool down, much cooler, most places 10 to 20 degrees cooler on Tuesday, keeping those easterly winds around. And then seeing some below freezing temperatures possible in the higher elevations and in the valleys along the divide for Wednesday and Thursday mornings. We have some wind advisories out for places like Butte and along the divide. And then we do have a high wind watch for most of northwest Montana for that front coming in with strong northeast winds on Monday evening. Taking a look at what the wind timing looks like, this is showing some of the direction, and you can see this shift to northeast that's happening here in the evening, working its way through the forecast area. So I thought this was just one interesting way to show that. Moving forward here, we'll look at the actual wind speeds. We have some pretty good gusts in the forecast right now where we're seeing some 40s to 50s, mostly in northwest Montana, kind of along the divide. And most of those start to show up after 6 p.m. And then, especially thereafter, from 6 to 9 p.m. is where we're seeing a lot of change where the front was coming in. And then we have pretty much everybody switching over to northeast or easterly winds by Tuesday morning. And then we keep those through Tuesday, and then not as much wind at all showing up for the rest of the week. As for chances for precipitation, most of these are showing up for northwest Montana, somewhat into west central Montana. But as for any appreciable precipitation, most of that is forecast to be up north. Here's what a lower end forecast looks like, showing mostly north of like Highway 12, seeing precipitation. If we look for expected, then we start to see some chances get introduced somewhat into the clear waters, but only like 100th is showing up here. And then we do introduce a little bit more down into west central and southwest Montana. And if we look at the higher end, then we see much more precipitation showing up north. Maybe seeing these out of some of the thunderstorm activity, higher rates out of those would help us get closer to an inch in some places, but probably not widespread. And then overall, just some wetting rain chances showing up with there as well. Temperatures, like I said, nice and warm on Monday, cooling off to below normal in most places on Tuesday, and then normal temperatures to finish off the week. Humidity, dry again on Monday, and then we see a lot of improvement on Tuesday, and then getting back to normal dry for the rest of the week. Here's the probability of getting down below 39 degrees or getting into the 30s. And you can see that highlights mainly along the divide in the higher valleys. An active weather pattern looks to continue on. This is July 19th through the 23rd. And right now it looks like we'll continue to have a northwest flow with these weather systems clipping us. So keeping a little bit of a leaning toward above average for precipitation north of I-90. And then below average mainly in north central Idaho, where it doesn't look like much of these weather systems will impact there. And then keeping the above normal temperatures in north central Idaho and about equal chances for above or below for the rest of us. The next briefing is scheduled for July 17th. If you have any questions or need anything from us as we look at these strong winds coming through, please let us know.